Hi there, Steppy with the Pickin Coop Farmstead. It's another nice cool morning. It was like 56 degrees out here this morning. It's crazy. It feels good though. I'm going to be planting, and I know it's a no-no because they're not organic. They are certified 100% Idaho grown potatoes. They are a little russet potato, but they've gone to seed, and I'm telling you, I just bought these things and they went to seed immediately. I'm less than a week, so who knows how long they've been around. So today I thought I'd bring you along with me so we can plant some potatoes, because I try to get a fall harvest of potatoes too. And I've got a few more months left that I can grow things. So come along with me and let's plant some potatoes and hopefully harvest something. All right, I've got my 2 tubs ready. I turned up some dirt. One of them is kind of hard from I let it sit out in the sun. It kind of baked it. But what I'm going to do, I've got some chicken manure that's composted. Break it up a little bit, and I want to put some in each bucket. It's been sitting in this bucket for, well, not necessarily this bucket, but for about 6 months. Here, Alright, so I kind of want to turn it around in here. Break it up just a hair. And then I think it'll be easier once it gets wet. And then I've got some pine straw. Once I get these planted, I'm not going to plant them that deep. There we go. That's what I need. Spray. Good old spray nozzle. I love this wand. However, as you can see, probably right here, it's kind of dripping. I lost the little gasket, so I got to replace the gasket in that. But by the time I get out of the garden and back to the house, I forget what I'm doing. It's getting a little better with my powdered mushroom on board, but yeah. So this is all we're going to do, is we're going to spray this around. And then I'm going to work in this chicken manure. And then we're going to see how this works out for us. Hopefully the chicken manure has composted enough to not burn anything. And then I still will have 2 buckets left. I'm going to try doing my garlic the same way I did last year. But it's not time to plant that yet for fall. And so there we go. Stuff's breaking up nicely in there. It's not quite time to plant the garlic yet. I think I did that in October. And I did some reading on the garlic. And garlic is a very heavy feeder. And I can't remember if it's nitrogen or potassium. I'll have to look it up. Oh, there's a little bumblebee down there. I don't know what he's doing. Alright, so I'm going to put a little more water in there. I don't want it a muddy bath, but I do want it to, everything to get incorporated together. And right in the middle of my poor, mostly dead lavender bush, which I'm going to water right now, is a volunteer potato plant growing in that thing. It's crazy. All right, I'm going to stir this up a little more. I think I'm going to use a bigger shovel. There we go. It's a little easier. I don't want it super wet. I just kind of want it to, doesn't have to be really deep, but I want the soil broke up for the potatoes so they have a room to grow. This one's just terribly packed in there. Yeah, it's getting better. Okay, I think we're good to go. So, that's good enough. Got my shovel, put this guy over here. All right, let me grab my potatoes and we'll get started. All right, so they're almost a little too shriveled up for my liking, but they have lots of sprouts. Sprouts side up. I'm gonna plant about 4, since I have an abundance, 4, 5 per bucket. They don't really have sprouts on them. I'm gonna put them in my compost. This one, let's see. There we go. Some of these are the red potatoes that I harvested. Aha, here's a nice one. I think I'll stick him in the middle. Put one there, and put one there. Oh, and has a few eyes on it. We'll grab that guy. This one's just rotted. Oh, here's one, a nice one. Look at that guy. They say there's jury still out on this, that some of these, if they have too many sprouts going on, that they're not good to plant, but in my experience, they grow. All right, so here we go. So we've got plenty dirt going on. And just kind of cover them gently. Maybe a little deeper with this one. There we go. They're covered with chicken poo and dirt. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do the next one. And I'm gonna do about the same thing. I'll level this out and then we'll dig little holes. And we'll put 5 spuds in this guy. And okay, there's one. It's just amazes me how things just want to grow. You know, they've been sitting in this bag on my back porch and they just want to grow. totally neglected. Looking to see what Johnny Boy's doing over there. Let's see, this one a little deeper here. There we go. Okay, then we'll put one little guy in the middle. Even if you get a few potatoes out of this, it's still better than throwing the whole bag in the compost. I mean, if you get a little something out of it. All right, I think that's good enough. Now, I'm going to grab some pine straw, and we'll put some pine straw over the top. Ooh, is that a little worm? Nope, it's a stick. Okay. The rest of these I'm going to put in my compost pile. Let me grab some of my pine straw. All right, we got our pine straw here. Just put some right into the bucket. And we'll do the same with this bucket. Whoopsie, I got a little carried away with that one. As they sprout up through this, we'll just keep adding more pine straw. That's why I'm only putting just a little bit now. There we go. And I'm telling you, this stuff, if you live where I do, where there's abundance of pine trees, this stuff is free. It just costs a little sweat equity. As long as you gather them once they're on the ground and they're all dried up, it's amazing. All right, so we're going to water these guys in. These are both placed where the sprinkler will hit. I adjusted my sprinkler. So we've got fertilizer, dirt. We broke up the dirt. I should have probably broke up the dirt and the one where my hose is right now a little better. But I didn't. I tried. It was like cement almost. But I got the top 4 or 5 inches, so I think we'll be all right. We'll just keep adding this pine straw as we go. We have plenty of room left inch-wise in my buckets. Water this guy in really well. Well, this bucket actually cracked, just a little crack. Not bad for free planters though, right? And I just use my garden soil, a little bit of chicken compost, which is also free. What goes in must come out of your chickens. Chicken poo is very, very, very hot as far as it's full of things that will actually burn your plant. So it's really important to compost it before you put it on anything that you have planted or getting ready to plant. And if so, you want to put it on your beds, amend your beds. Now my cruciferous bed, I amended the soil with just chicken poop this year, but I did it like at least 2 to 3 weeks before I planted, and I thought it was going to be bad. Thought it was still wasn't long enough to percolate. And everything in my cruciferous bed, well, you saw the videos, is growing absolutely splendidly. Okay, so that's the planting of the potato. Okay, so we need to water our little parsnip seeds right here. And I brought me a jug out of water. I could actually use my hose with my sprinkling thing on it since I have it hooked up. But remember, when we're germinating things, seeds, we have to keep the soil nice and wet. And since I haven't been sprinkling every night, I've got to make sure I keep that. Oh, I forgot to bring my little fence gate thing to partition that off. I had it sitting there. Yeah, trying to keep up with my weeds. This time of year, they run rampant. Just kind of pull, even if you spend a few minutes. I heard Jessica say if you just spend 20 minutes a day pulling some weeds, try to keep ahead of the game. All right, so my little tomato still trying to grow here. I don't have the heart to pull it out. All right, and I think I've got a couple of cucumbers I can snip. When you get this weird misshapen like this guy, I just go ahead and cut them off, and then I can make cucumber salad or pickle cucumbers. It just amazes me at how big they get, how quick. All right, so I'm going to go through the rest of the cucumbers, see what I have. Go ahead and pick this little young crookneck, and then I got a little okra to add to my fry mix. I forgot all about cooking that up last night. I made a nice pork roast with gravy and mashed potatoes, and I thought, ooh, I'm going to fry my little okras that are in the freezer in their season mix. Totally forgot about it. So I'm going to have to, when I edit this video, hopefully it will remind me. All right, let's go to the other side. Now, I don't know if you can see this or not. There is a beautiful, let's go down farther, beautiful little eggplant right here. But I don't know, they're such small plants. I don't know when they are ready to pick. So what I'm going to have to do, because the variety that I grew from seed, that's these guys down this middle row, they are much larger than these little guys. So I don't know when to pick those. I'll have to, when I get on the other side, I'll have to look at the variety and look it up and see. Because it'd be nice if there's like 2 or 3 of them down there. And so I can start making like baba ganoush and that yummy kind of stuff. So over here, we have a plethora, and I mean a plethora, of tomatillos. Now I'm kind of trimming these. As you can see, it's kind of painful because it has blooms on it. I don't want them to overshadow my beets that I've got in here. So if they have fruit on them, I kind of leave them alone. But there's so many, the blooms are just, yeah, it's okay. So I just love the smell of these. I don't, call me weird, they just smell really good. All right, so I'm going to trim this guy. It's kind of painful, I know. If they're close to my cattle panel, I kind of feed them through that. If they're not, then I just trim them up. See, these have, let's get them off of there. Oops, I almost got one. And they're starting to overshadow my peppers. I didn't really think that out too well when I put these so close together. And so what I'm looking for is the bottom of these to split. If you didn't know, if you've never grown these before. Like this little guy. It's one of the little purple ones. See how the hull, they have these little hull. They look like little paper lanterns when after they bloom. And these are hollow until the little fruit grows on the inside. And you could have let this guy go a little longer, but and you have to wash them really good because it's a very sticky coating they have on them. So, and I put these in my gallon freezer bags, just like I do my tomatoes. And then when I get enough of them, I can make some green sauce. And I make like enchilada sauce and all kinds of good stuff with those. So here we are, we're just trimming, and I keep trimming them. It doesn't seem to hurt them one single bit. And as you're trimming, look at the bottoms and see if you have any, like this little guy. He is split open. So I take the hull off, throw that back in my pile. And I'm going to try trimming up some of these branches on the bottom. And these guys are finally starting to put some fruit on. You can't really see from there. I believe they're little bell peppers. I think these are some that didn't have a name tag because, yeah, they fell off my bike. These little guys right here is what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm moving farther back, and look at this. Oh, I gotta move you up again, sorry. There we go. Look at this guy right here. I'll show a closer up picture of him, but that's that buttercup squash. Unfortunately, even if I only get one, it's okay, I guess. I'll save the seeds. It's the only one that I can see that is on here, which is kind of interesting. I thought I'd get a couple. But, oh well, it is what it is. I'll save the seeds, no big deal. Then I can grow more next year. Okay, we got a bunch of these cute little green beans. I might have enough for dinner. And then I got a bunch of ground cherries. These things are delicious. They kind of taste like pineapple. And I think they are, if I'm not mistaken, they are in the tomatillo family. All right, so we're going to go over here. Okay, I found another crickneck. And look, I've got my very first of the season, not very first ever. It could be a little redder, but that's okay. Cayenne pepper. My cayenne peppers that I grew, I do believe they were MI Gardener seeds. Oh my gosh, they're crazy. They're growing, there's so many of them, the plants are flopping over. So now I want to harvest some of my beautiful zinnias, because the ones in my vase are finally starting to get a little wimpy looking. And once they get like that, I save them. I cut the heads off. Sounds kind of brutal. And I save them for seeds next year. And a lot of these I grew from my own seeds. Even ones that are broken, I bring those in and I save the seeds from them. They are very prolific, as you can see. They're so pretty. And like I said, the more you cut, the more they grow. What do they call them? Cut and come again flowers. They're just incredible. And for having fresh flowers in your house, these last for such a long, long time. They're pretty amazing. I'm just cutting most of these that are in my walkway. They're just so stinking pretty. Absolutely. Oh, this one has a little broken neck also. I'll cut him off. And let's see, we'll cut this guy there. Now they're not in the walkway and they won't get broke, but look at that. And the bees use these for beds at night. They sleep in there. And I did finally look up what a spaghetti squash look like, and they're more oblong yellow. And then the one that I have down here that's shaped like a pear, that is the butternut squash. I had them right in the beginning, then I switched them, and then finally I said, you know what, just look them up. And I was right, wrong, and now that's correct. So the yellow guys are the spaghetti squash, and I'm going to have a lot of them. I'm super excited because I bought 1 or 2 plants of those from my niece out at Foothill High School at their nursery they have. And I only bought 1 or 2, and I'm like, gosh, I hope these grow. Well, sure enough, they fell off my bike and broke their necks, and they're growing. I probably have 1, 2, 3, I'm counting them all, 4, 5, maybe 6, and that's off of 2 plants. So I'm impressed. I'm excited about that. And then I do have my one butternut, and he's a big boy. He's about this big now. My acorn squash, and then I've got some, they're over here. This is the acorn right here. He's about that big. And I got some more zinnias here. Oh, I've got a huge crookneck over there. I've got to reseed my seeds. I didn't take them out of the water in time on the old one I had, and they went to mush. So this time I'm just going to clean them out, wash them, put them in a colander, and then lay them out to dry that way. I don't know why I did it that way. I don't know. Anyways, I wasted all the seeds. So they're not wasted. I'm feeding them to my chickens. So that's how that story goes. Over here, let me grab my basket, and I got some of these beautiful little red guys, but I'm going to get a few more cucumbers. There's one here. He's almost too big, but these don't even go to waste once they start turning yellow. I give those to the chickens, and they eat the tar out of those. I have a little Armenian cucumber mixed in here. I think I'll wrap him around there so he doesn't get too much stress. And like I said, if I see any yellow leaves, I just kind of cut them off, throw them in the bottom. That way more sunlight is able to get in, and you're taking, like, if they have some funky bits on it like that, or they might look like powdery mildew, I throw them in the aisleways. I do not put them in my compost, and I do not put them back in the beds, just because that stuff will spread. And this section, I'm surprised, doesn't have a lot of the powdery mildew because it's so dense in here. It's crazy. But yeah, so that's what I just go along, trim stuff up, see what I can forage. And yeah, this does not look good. It didn't come to fruition. This one over here is another butternut, but I don't really see any butternuts on it. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so we're going to continue on. Oh, I wanted to show you. I don't know if you can see. Let's go over. Oh, it's not going to let me. Let me point this. Look at my nasturtiums. They're going crazy. I think that's just one little plant. The rest of I had died, and I just kind of deadheaded them. And they're really interesting the way they grow. They have like this little pointy thing that goes, and then the stem comes up. It's pretty interesting. I've never grown them before. So hopefully some of these will dry up completely, and then I can save seeds for that for next year. I have lots more seeds, but still, anytime you can save seeds, it's always a really good thing. Okay, I found another crookneck. And look, I've got my very first of the season, not very first ever. It could be a little redder, but that's okay. Cayenne pepper. My cayenne peppers that I grew, I do believe they were M.I. Gardner seeds. Oh my gosh, they're crazy. They're growing. There's so many of them. The plants are flopping over. So now I want to harvest some of my beautiful zinnias, because the ones in my vase are finally starting to get a little wimpy looking. And once they get like that, I save them. I cut the heads off. Sounds kind of brutal. And I save them for seeds next year. And a lot of these I grew from my own seeds. Even ones that are broken, I bring those in and I save the seeds from them. They are very prolific, as you can see. They're so pretty. And like I said, the more you cut, the more they grow. What do they call them? Cut and come again flowers. They're just incredible. And for having fresh flowers in your house. These last for such a long, long time. They're pretty amazing. I'm just cutting most of these that are in my walkway. They're just so stinking pretty. Absolutely. Oh, this one has a little broken neck also. I'll cut him off. And let's see, we'll cut this guy there. Now they're not in the walkway and they won't get broke, but look at that. And the bees use these for beds at night. They sleep in there. All right, I just looked up the name of my little eggplants and they're called Little Fingers. So you know what? They might be ready to harvest. So I'm going to look it up in the house to see how you tell. As you can tell, I'm not very experienced at growing eggplant. I was just looking at my mustard pods. They're just looking fabulous. I'm going to have mustard the rest of my life and the rest of my children and their children's life. So that's exciting. But anyways, back to the eggplant. I think they're probably ready to harvest. So I'm super excited. So I might be back out here after I look that up. Now over here, as you can see, we've got these gorgeous, gorgeous... Oh, I just can never have too many zinnias. You cannot. All right, so we've got cucumbers that are trying to choke out the zinnias. Let's see. Oh, look at this. This one grabbed onto cilantro. It's already dried up for me. I'm going to take that in the house and put that back through the fence there. It feels pretty heavy, almost like it has a cucumber at the base, but I guess it doesn't. It's just wrapped around this stuff. Oh, there's a little cucumber down there. Oh, I don't know if you can see. I'm trying not to take this off the tripod. Look at this little... Oh, shoot. Get out of the way there, fella. Look at that little cantaloupe. So I was reading on how to tell when they're dry, and then when these little vines dry up, that means they are ready, and you can go by the smell as well. So I think I have 3 of the cantaloupe, and they're the ambrosia ones. So I'm pretty excited about that. See, this is, I'm not sure if it's powdery mildew, but anything like that, you don't want to put that back in your bed. So just trim it off, throw it out. It doesn't get enough air in here, and using a sprinkler is just like having lots of rain. So that stuff has a tendency to form in here. So, oh, there is a little cucumber. He's not quite ready though. All right. Got some sunshine in here, sunlight. Get some of these guys out. There we go. A lot of little tomatoes. Oh, this zinnia, these two need to be cut out of here. They're getting choked out by my tomatoes. Look, there's a pretty color. I just love them. These ones I trimmed up the other day, so I'm going to let them be. You know, I think I am going to grab this little cucumber. Here he is. I'm starting to get little holes in things in here, which is good. It's allowing the light to get in there. I think I'm going to grab this zinnia too. Look at that beautiful thing. Then we're going to come up here. Look at the amaranth. That is just crazy. And I'm telling you, my chickens have gone absolutely berserk over this stuff. They love it. And we got cucumbers latching on to the amaranth. I'm going to trim some of these up. Everything you feed your chickens supplements their feed. So, and like fermenting their food supplements their feed because they digest it better, so they get fuller faster, and it's much healthier for them. So, yeah, you need to look up all these wonderful ways that you can do this for your chickens. These have just gotten so ginormous, they're falling over. I've got to do something about that. All right, and then this, I want to look this stuff up. This is something I think I can make medicine out of, and I cannot for the life of me think of what it's called. So there's always something you can utilize weed-wise. Not all weeds, of course. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. This here is Queen Anne's legs. Hello. Need to take you with me. I get so excited about things. I'm just letting this grow. This right here is Queen Anne's legs, or Queen Anne. Sometimes I'll have a dark purplish blue flower in the middle, but not always. And it's in the carrot family. This is highly medicinal. And there is another one, I always forget the name of it, but it's not the deadly nightshade, it's the other one. But the way you tell is the queen has hairy legs. So the stems, you run your finger down the stems, and that will tell you, because they look very, very, very similar, almost exactly alike. And so what you want to do is check all of that out before you go picking that. Okay, so now we have our lettuce. It's just, I'm going to have thousands, not hundreds, thousands of seeds of different lettuces. I got 3 or 4 different ones in here. I finally had to put a pole in here to help hold these up. I don't really want to tie them on there, but I might have to. Okay, so we're going to move along here. Come on. Got more tomatillos popping out of their husks. These are the green ones, obviously. I think I'm going to have enough between my peppers and my tomatillos to make a nice batch of roasted green sauce. And you could use it as a salsa. I use it as a, oh, here's another one. I use it for enchilada sauce. I use it when I make, it's like a chili verde type sauce when I'm doing my pork. It's just incredible the amount of uses that you have. And when you're in the middle of a dark, cold winter, you definitely, it's very refreshing. I'm going to look in here. I've got some more bell peppers coming on. These are a little shaded too by my little tomatillos. Again, not proper planning. I was so excited to get things going out here. Oh, look. Here's another one. Technically, I think you should wait till they get kind of yellowed like that, dried up. But you know me, I'm always picking early. All right, these tomatoes, you got to look at this. This is nuts. We've got Sans Marzanos in here. We've got cherries. We've got, I think, mortgage lifters. It's crazy, and they're all just growing. I mean, I don't even know if you can see. Look at how tall they are. Clear up in here. I usually get up there and I'll trim them off. And I technically should do that, but right now I have not. I got some more green beans straight down here. And I'm picking these guys as soon as they start to blush, and they seem to ripen up in the house just fine. It keeps the pest pressure down and hopefully encourages more tomatoes to grow. they still taste pretty darn delicious once they're ripe. More little cherries. And I've already gotten 2 1-gallon bags in my new little mini fridge or freezer. So I'm really pleased with that. Okay, I don't really see. Oh, here's one. What do we got here? This is a nice little guy. Okay, we'll keep carrying on here. All right, so I have some more calendula. I just harvested this yesterday. And never in my life have I grown this, and I am so beyond pleased with it. I can hardly wait to make a salve out of it. So I just wait till they open up like this, and then I grab them so they can dry in the house. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Now look at these guys. I want to wait. This one's still flowering, and so is this one. Then I wait a little bit longer till they start kind of drying a little, and then I get my celery seed. I also save the little fronds also, and I put those in my pickle mixes. And let's see, let's come down here a little far. Look at the size of these guys. They're just absolutely gorgeous. They're starting to get kind of spent, so I want to grab them. And I'm just going to trim them up a bit. There we go. I can save the seeds. I love these pink and burgundy ones. They're so pretty. I've got some more that I planted direct sown out here. After I discovered my little dill plants, I wasn't going to have very many, and I'll be gosh darn, they're growing. So these have already flowered out, so I'm just waiting for them to be a little drier, and then I'm going to harvest those for seeds. My chamomile is not as prolific as it was, but that's okay. I mean, they say once it gets hotter that it truly doesn't do well. So I just keep trimming the kind of dried up stuff off of it, and it's still putting out. I mean, I got a good pint, I believe, in the house, and my little basil is still doing great. I've got a couple little plants here. Plus my sister just gave me a whole bunch, but look at all this. I'm just really excited about that. I just love the smell of basil. To me, that is the smell of summertime. It's great. And then I have a little volunteer. I know, I might have planted this. I had to, right down here, if you can see it. I know I planted some seeds, and I think this weed probably choked it out. This stuff is very invasive. I don't know what it is. I don't even know if it has medicinal value, but at this point, I don't even care. I'll get that out of here. So yeah. And that thing just dropped a whole bunch of little seeds down there. Uh-oh, that wasn't really smart, I guess. And let's see, I just harvested my parsley and thyme. See, I might be able to get a little bit of, let's see, let's snip that guy. Never have too much basil, except for last year I did. I learned not to plant as much. Okay, so, all right, that's all for this bed. Oh my, I must have missed these the other day. Look at the size of these guys. This is almost, I would say, chicken food. It's kind of orangish yellow there. Those are huge. Look at the size of that guy. Now this one is worth saving seeds for. I'm not sure. It might be too hard to eat. I don't know. I'm going to try though. All right, guys, that's about all I can harvest, and I've pruned and trimmed and tied up all kinds of stuff. We've planted potatoes. Today was a very good, productive day. Thank you so much, as always, for watching, liking, sharing, and commenting on my videos. And I hope you all learned something today. And if you want to add something to what I was talking about with your own experience, please drop that in the comments. Hope the sun is shining where you are, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.